Those microphones? Yes. I talk loudly anyways, but we have them. So we're going to do a little bit of participation. So we'll be passing these around in a little bit. So we wanted to take a moment to welcome you to our organizational excellence, service excellence training. So you guys are all here because you were selected by your supervisors, by your leadership within your department as individuals who already exemplify some of these service excellence and organizational excellence traits. For you guys, that really should be seen as an honor, because that means you are already doing some of the best things and some of the things that we need to implement organization-wide, particularly starting with the operations team. So first of all, thank you for what you guys are doing each and every day right now that sets us on this positive path for excellence within our organization. And thank you for the work that you've committed to doing as we are starting to move forward. This is really a special thing for you guys to be selected as trainers and as influencers. So some individuals are going to be helping with the training, and some of you said, I'm not ready for that quite yet. I really want to be an informal leader within my department and share the information. And we'll talk after today's session and a separate meeting about what that looks like for you as far as the training sessions and for what being an influencer looks like. So we are very proud of you guys, and we're very excited to have you here today. So I would like to introduce our partners from the Studer Group, KK and Brent, and I will turn it over to you guys, so go ahead.
Good morning, and congratulations on being an influencer. I think that's a big deal in today's world. We're very excited to be here with you for the Service Excellence Tactics. Some of you have been through that training, and we're excited to do that training with you. You have some things in front of you that you're going to use today. You have your packet. It's the full Service Excellence Training Manual. That has the slide deck and scripts for everything that you can say. That manual, which you can, there's 25 of them, so you may need to share. We'll give that to you electronically. You'll have that to be able to use. You'll see script by script in there, what you need to say, what you ask participants to do. Very, very clear steps. We have the author of this with us, KK. She's the author who wrote this. So real excited that she'll be jumping in as I'm working with you to make sure we give you the best training possible, so that what you're going to do is divide into teams, and you're going to, in teams of three or two or three, go out throughout your district and train everyone in service excellence tactics that we all know and agree that we're going to do to provide excellent service. You also have with you a handout that you will give to participants. It's the participant packet handout. So you have three things: the handout that you will give to participants that you have with you today, the packet that shows the slide deck and everything that you will say and do, and you have the slide deck that we'll give to you. So those are the three things that you need. All right, you ready to look at it? Get started? One of the things you would do, of course, is you introduce yourself, and then you would have people around the room introduce themselves and what they do. Because this is such a large group, we're going to skip that part. I'm assuming you know who you are. So we're just kidding. All right, so anyway, welcome to the Service Excellence Training. You've got that first slide in front of you. Really important that you see here in that first slide is that we as an organization take great pride in our excellent service. And very important as you're starting this, that it doesn't happen by accident. Service excellence doesn't happen by accident. One of the things you'll see on there also is it says that in the end that we work to make improvements when we see survey results that don't meet our expectations. And you, as an organization, have a survey, the DSS survey, that goes out that helps you to build your service excellence. So I want to make sure you're aware of that there's a survey, the DSS, the District Services Survey, that goes out that people take for the survey for service excellence. All right, let's look at the next slide.
Turn the page.
Turn your page.
By the way, you will get this, as Brent said, digitally, and that's why we didn't make so many copies of this, because this is a big thing. And probably what you're going to want to do is once you get we're gonna send this to you digitally, you're probably gonna wanna add your own notes to the notes section of each slide so that you'll feel more comfortable when you get ready to train. But this is literally word for word what you say. This is foolproof training. We want to make it easy for you to do.
So you can look, you're asking the participants just, and you can do this right now, just go ahead and read why are we here? Always very important when you start something to go to the why. Why are we here? And of course, what you're going to is that it's simple that we're here to serve our customers. We're here to serve our customers. And are there any words for you, while you're reading that, are there words for you that stand out in that why we are here? Yes?
Committed.
Committed. Thank you. We're committed.
Service. Expected.
Expected.
Yes, very good. Yeah, what's that?
Service.
Service, absolutely. Service stands out. So we know the heart of the why we are here. We're committed to providing great customer service. Next slide, turn the page. You have your agenda. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about the why of customer service. Then we're going to talk about what. What is it that we're going to do? And then we're going to practice it. How do we do it? So those are the steps we're going to take in training with the people that are being trained with us. Why, what, how. Next page. And take a minute and look at this. What do we see? This is poor customer service. Yeah,
What'd you say? Everyone recognizes it immediately.
What are some of the things you notice looking at that photo? What do you see?
Sadness.
Sadness, absolutely. Somebody said,
Waiting.
What's that?
A lot
Yes.
of waiting.
Yes, a lot of waiting. A lot of waiting. So we know, all of us know, what poor customer service feels like. We can think of the places that we've been. Is there another place you've been that you've experienced poor customer service?
Yes.
Restaurant.
There, a restaurant. Did you go back?
Did you tell people about it? Yes.
Yeah, and that's also very important to talk about, because when we look at, you've had it, look at, this is a restaurant, by the way. Good call out there, thank you. When you've had poor customer service, do you talk about it? And you're pointing out the fact that when you're saying that right now, do you have a story in your mind of a poor customer service experience that you had? It comes to you right away, doesn't it? Those stay. And that's really important to talk about with people, that if people have a poor customer service here at the Sarasota County School District, are they talking about it? They probably are. They're probably saying something out to the public. And it can be, remember, we're talking about internal and external. So it can be somebody internally that had an issue here, or it could be the way that the UPS driver was treated when he came in. So when you've had that poor customer service experience, you're going to talk about it. All right. So how do we want to be known? Talk for a minute at your table about how do we want to be known? What does excellent customer service look like? What do we want to be known at in Sarasota County Schools? What does that look like?
Talk to your friends. If they're not your friends yet, they will be.
Did you guys open up with what's organizational excellence? Just make sure they got perspective.
Actually did a little bit of that, but you know what? Jump in there.
I just wanna make sure
Let
they
them hear it
got
from you.
perspective.
Let them hear it from you. How about that?
What do you need to do?
He was out in the hall on a phone call, and he said, did y'all set the stage with what is organizational excellence? And I said, Ashley kind of did, but why don't you jump in there and do
I
it?
think you better do that. So just because what is organizational excellence? Okay.
He does a good job of it. He did it the last time we were here. He
Yeah.
stood up and said, this is what the county is doing, and this is what operations is doing.
Can you do that? Can you take it? I'm freezing.
Oh, no, you don't have to do it. Joe's going to.
Oh, I got you. All right, in just a second. All right, so what are we talking about? What are some of the things that we want to be known by here in Sarasota County Schools?
What's something you talked about at your table? How do we want to be
Yes.
known?
Being responsible for
Yeah.
our actions.
Yes. Really understanding the person. That's, yeah, great. Approachable. Approachable.
Yes,
Very, very
approachable.
good. Yeah.
A safe place.
Safe place. Efficient. Yeah, I like that. Efficient. Very good. Do we want to stop and let
Jody, you want to give a little? You don't want to.
So I apologize, guys. Is this thing on?
It does feel like it's on, but I'm guessing it is.
Are we good? Okay, John, thanks. So we're recording today, right? So not everybody could make the training, and so we wanted to record these sessions so as more people are interested in becoming trainers across the district, we don't have to get everybody back together. We can kind of show the training. So John and Jamal, we appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. But just wanted to mention why we're all here today, part of the larger picture, right? So those of you involved in operations, hopefully you've heard a little bit about organizational excellence in our journey together on the operations side to really do everything we can to be the best we can be to support teachers, kids, the community across the district, really. And that's a larger picture about why we're here. It's getting better at what we do. And organizational excellence is a lot of things, but it's really to support superintendent's strategic plan. When we talk about charter schools, schools of hope, all that stuff, you hear the superintendent continually talk about we want to be the best of best. We want to be the best for choice for all students and families around the community. Well, that starts with not only being the best educational process, but it's the entire organization and how we present ourselves to the community, right? It's when parents and community members come on our campuses, how are they presented? How do we talk to them? Are we welcoming? Do we try to solve problems, right? It's a feeling about Sarasota County Schools we want to make sure that everybody gets when they walk in. You know, Brent talked about the worst customer service you've heard gotten in the past. I bet you all got a good one too, right? You can really say this one really stands out in my mind. Well, when anybody comes to Sarasota County Schools, whether it's up at Gosho Elementary or whether it's down at Lamarck or whether it's facilities or food service, when they step into one of our buildings or encounter one of our employees, we want them to feel that good customer service, that level of impressiveness, right? And so that's what this is all about on the operations side, and get better at what we do and how do we support all that. The biggest piece of all that is customer service. How do we take care of our customers? And Brent talked about it, both internal and external. And that's where you guys really come in. We started this process way back, probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago, called Organizational Excellence. It was called kind of the Studer Group at that time. And I forget what it was actually called, the program. But we started it, and it kind of floundered, and it never really went anywhere. And as we moved into this journey again, we said, why did we fail last time on not really getting the word out there and doing anything with this program? And really what it was is not getting the message down to the people who are doing the work on a daily basis, right? We had a lot of conversations last time at very high levels. We put good plans in place and never went anywhere. So our efforts this time are really focused on making sure, for example, in facility services, if you are a custodian, you understand organizational excellence, at least at a certain level, and you understand in your role as custodian, what does that mean for you? And how do you present the organization? And why is that important for you as an employee, right? And so that's the big push, is for us to now push this into our department so we all kind of understand what it means, why it's important to us in our roles, and then in our role, how do we support that organizational excellence piece from customer service perspective on a daily basis, right? And that's why this training is so important and why you are all here, because you guys are the ones out there getting things done. And whether you're a trainer, when you're talking to our people, if you're holding a class on customer service for our custodians, or if you're just out there, out and about in the trenches doing your daily work and you're talking the talk and walking the walk, that's important for us to keep building that culture of excellence, right? So you guys are at the ground floor, just starting out. This is our first training ever. We appreciate you jumping in with us, but you're really at the very start, the tip of the spear on this effort across the district. So we hope as people hear you talking, they see the trainings you're putting on, they get excited about it, they see how it's important for them, how it's important for our community, and this kind of just grows. And we get trainers and influencers in every department at all levels speaking the same language. Again, that's super important to us. So you guys are really the mechanism that gets this done for us. And so I want you to understand that's why it's important for you to be here. We appreciate you volunteering to do this, and why it's important for us to push this message and walk this walk and talk this talk on kind of a daily basis. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Brent, but we appreciate it.
And that's exactly what a great segue to talk about what we're doing. We're really working on specific tactics that we can all agree to practice that takes us to service excellence. And what Jody was talking about the good stories. One of the stories when I go around and talk is I talk about Sarasota, because one day I left here, it was in the afternoon, and I left and I was headed back to the hotel, and I realized I left my power cord for my computer, which, you know, that's a big deal. So I drove back up here to get that power cord, and when I came in, they were like, it's after hours, we're closed. And I was like, okay, I did a presentation, I left my power cord, and the guy said, come on with me. And he let me in, and he walked me all the way, because I didn't remember where the room was, walked me all the way back up, let me get my cord, and then walked me all the way back out to the right exit. And I just thought that was just, he could have said, you know, hey, it's done, the day is done, I'm sorry, we can't let you in, any of those things. But he provided excellent customer service, which is a story that I continue to tell. So those good things that happen, that's the direction we want to go. We want people in the community to be talking about the excellent service that Sarasota School District provides. So turn your page and look. We're going to talk about our first tactic. And it is blank.
Start jiggling things.
That's always. Well, you have it in front of you.
You do.
So you can share and see that the first, we're recording, so I don't know if we want to stop.
Yeah, can you pause that real quick? John? Can we take a time out? Can you pause that?
We're streaming it, so it's just gonna keep going.
Great.
Okay.
Go find something.
Okay, well, you know what? We're just going to keep going.
Yes, absolutely. So you've turned your page. You have the excellent starts. You see the picture of the person greeting someone. They're greeting them with a smile. They're looking at them. You can see this because we start with the 5-10 rule. 5 foot, 10 foot rule. So turn to the next slide. That's page 8.
Should we,
We're gonna practice it.
we're going to practice it? I
We
don't
are.
know if we have enough room for everybody to.
You and I are going to demonstrate.
You and I
We're
are gonna do it. Here we
Okay.
go.
So hold on. If someone is 10 feet away, what you want to do is you want to at least acknowledge them. If someone is 5 feet away, you want to give some kind of verbal greeting, whatever is natural for you, a hello or something. So if I'm working for Sarasota, KK's coming in, 10 feet away, she's walking towards me, and I'm going to be, that's me, I do a nod, I visually, right? Yeah. And then now, 5 feet away, she comes towards me, she gets to the 5 feet part. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning.
So let me ask you, how do you think that feels to the person that's from the outside? Welcoming. Absolutely. You're being acknowledged. You're being seen. One thing I think about is, what is the reason that we may not do that? You may do this naturally. There's some of you who do this very naturally. What's the reason we may not do this?
You're shy.
You're shy. It's not something that you want to do. The other thing is that if we acknowledge someone, this comes to service excellence, it may mean we have to do something. So, we really tend to avoid eye contact, avoid greeting somebody, because it might result in us having to take an action. So what we're doing is we're setting the tone, the smile, the walking up to the person, the greeting, the how are you, because in our intent is we really do want to be helpful to that person. They may just go right past. Most of the time they probably will. So take a second to talk about what's natural for you. What is a natural 10-foot greeting for you? What would you say? Tell the person next to you. What is a natural 5-foot greeting?
And it doesn't have to be a smile. It could be a wave, a head nod. A lot of things work. Good. And I think you just tell them, when you're really doing this, hopefully you'll have a space where you can get people up.
Yes, thank you. Thank
Just
you.
tell them that.
Thank you.
So we don't have the space to do that, but
Yeah.
you won't have a group this large.
Yeah.
So you'll want to get up and let them practice,
Yeah.
so they know what 10 feet is and what 5 is.
So when we're in a space, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're in a space where we can't have you get up and do this. But if you were in a group where you had the room to do it, it's great to get people up and just have them practice that with each other. So are there two of you in here that would like to demonstrate it real quick? We got any brave souls? Thank you.
All right, we got one.
And who?
We got a
All right.
second. Perfect.
Thank you, thank you. So see what we would do? You just have your participants get up. They would say, I'll be the person that works for us, and you're coming into the building. All right.
We can use the mics.
Sure, we can use the mics.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
And the important thing is what's 5 feet and what's 10 feet.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Good. You look like you're looking for something. Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the main office. I'm trying to register my child for school.
Okay. I can show you if
Okay,
you want to
cool.
follow me.
Yes, ma'am.
And what's your name?
My name's Betty.
Nice. And what are your kids' names?
Landon and Kaden.
Nice. Well, I'm going to take you over here and she right here. She'll be happy to help you.
How are you?
Morning.
Good morning.
And it was a pleasure to meet
It
you.
was nice meeting you.
All right.
Thank you for your
You're
help.
in good hands.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
All
you.
right.
That
Give
was
them
an A+ example.
Exactly. Absolutely. Wonderful. And how do you think that parent feels? Seen, supported? Absolutely.
What are
So-
they going to say when they get back home to their neighbors? And it was a great experience. I felt very comfortable. I felt welcomed. And that's how it bleeds out into the community. You have on your next,
Yeah, your next slide, page 9.
but you have all the directions there. Everything that you're seeing happening, you have the directions right there in your manual, including ask people to get up, do it, and practice it. So you can't mess this up. You can't break it. You cannot break it.
Have you had an opportunity to kind of look at that manual, get a feel for it, see how easy it's laid out? You see the italics, what you say, the action part, what you can have people do. So we're talking about the 60-second rule. You acknowledge someone within 1 minute. And really, if you're really thinking about this, you should acknowledge somebody within 30 seconds. And think about how it feels if, and you've probably had this happen where you've walked into a space or room and you can see two people who are conversing or talking and no one says anything to you. You're waiting, and nobody's saying anything to you. And that's where time stretches. It starts to feel like maybe they have something else more important or maybe they can't take care of you. So the 60-second rule says that within 60 seconds, we acknowledge someone. We absolutely, even if you are in the middle of something else, that you at least acknowledge them and let them know that you see them and you're going to get with them. Within 60 seconds, you do that. What's real important in this slide is that you demonstrate what that feels like. So find a clock, find your watch, whatever you want, and without telling the participants you're going to do that, just stop talking for 20 seconds. That was 15. And you can see 20 seconds when it's dead quiet, that's a long time. So think about, and you do that with them, just stop. Don't tell them you're getting ready to do it so they can feel that because there's an uncomfortableness that comes with that, and that's how the person feels. They feel uncomfortable when you haven't acknowledged them. All right, let's take a look at the next slide. So along with that 60 seconds is what is a tactic that we can use to acknowledge someone. And this first tactic, AIAE, is really about when somebody comes into your space. So you're sitting at a desk, you're at an office, you're working, and they come into your space. So what are you going to do when that happens? You're going to acknowledge them, introduce yourself, ask how you can help them, and as you saw demonstrated, if they need to be escorted, help them get where they need to go, or at least ensure that they get where they need to go. So turn your page. And here's an example of that. You can see the example. Hello, I'm Audrey. I work in human resources. Can I help you today? I will be happy to take you to Mr. Schmidt's office. So again, I really almost think you saw that demonstrated a few minutes ago. But if I'm sitting at a desk and KK comes in, you want to demonstrate this? You can come into my office?
Sure.
Yeah? All right. Now, if KK comes in and I'm like, man, you wouldn't believe what happened last night. We were out at and I don't say anything to her. But now I'm going to say, oh, good morning. I'm Brent. I work with the IT office. Is there anything I can, I've lost myself. Can I help you today?
Yes, I'm looking for the people who can fix my computer. It's not working.
Yeah, that's not us. No, I'm just kidding. Good luck, right? I mean, that's what people who can fix your computer. So they'll say, absolutely. In fact, if you just want to go right around the corner here to this door,
Yeah.
Mr. Jackson's right there, and he works with computers. He'll be happy to help you with that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Now, see, I didn't have to take her because I can see that that's where she's going. But if I said, oh, which really is interesting for this building here, you've got to go to the black awning. Everybody knows where the black awning is. You've got to go to the black awning. So what I'm going to say then is, oh, we're going to go across to the other building. Through that door you can see right there. Can I help you get there? Would you like me to help you get there? And then I would take her there.
And the reason we added that ensure, escort is the gold standard. We can't always do that. So when we can't, we ensure that they get there. And sometimes that means adding something like, now if you get lost, I want you to just turn right around and retrace your steps right back here to me, and I will call someone. In other words, you'll keep working until you fix it, until you can get them there. So ensure takes the place of escort when you can't leave your post. Does that make sense?
What's that?
Okay.
If
So I think moving on,
hit that. Hit this.
you might want to open up your participant material
Wait a minute, I'm
packet
sorry, wrong one.
so you can see. This is what your participants will have. You will have your training manual, whether you choose to print it out like we have made copies today, or you just prefer to look at it on the notes section of your slides as they're rolling. So you can start getting them to follow along in their participant manual with things like the 60-second AIAE. So this will be a helpful document as we're moving along. And hopefully we'll get our slides back. We need some magic dust
So I
up
think
here.
We're on 12. Slide 12.
Yes.
Yep. We want to talk about aid it. Now this aid it is when you are going into somebody else's space. So you're getting ready to go into somebody else's space. You're providing a service. You're going to do something. This could happen a lot with like a maintenance worker or tech, or even somebody maybe who's coming in to hold a special education session or something like that. So when you walk in, what you're going to do is let's go to right here.
Yeah.
Acknowledge, introduce yourself. The duration, talk about what you're getting ready to do, how long is that going to take, explain the service, and then thank them for their time. So you have that, hello, I'm Sam, I'm the computer technician. I'll be here about 20 to 25 minutes today. I'll be resetting your office computer and putting in a new battery for it. I appreciate your time today. You can see the person explaining what they're there for, how long it's going to take. What this does for the other person is it reduces anxiety. It lets them know why you're there. It's a very, very strong customer service tactic.
Yeah. Are people thrilled to see someone coming into their office space carrying a bunch of tools? No. It means work stoppage for them, probably. So that's why this was developed. How long is this going to take? What are you going to be doing? So all of these things are intentionally put there to reduce anxiety, just like Brent said, so that people know, okay, I'm going to be offline for 15 minutes, or, oh, good, I'm getting the air conditioning fixed because it's really hot in my office. You know, sometimes they are thrilled to see you coming, but a lot of times people are like, oh, great. So if you can reduce that anxiety by introducing yourself, they don't know who you are, maybe they do, but just as a reminder, do it anyway, unless you know them so well that they've already greeted you by name. So you can kind of help people understand how to judge that. And people want to know, what are you doing here? How long is it going to take? So and this is quick. You can do this in about 20 seconds. The last part, that's a little extra on top. Thanks for your time. I'm going to be finished shortly. Are people expecting you to say that? No. So now you have gone above and beyond and kind of sealed the deal that you're giving great customer service.
So in your participant packet, the other packet that you have, you'll see that there's a space there that you can ask the participants to take a moment to write out their AIEIO, whatever, or the AIDIT. So take a moment for yourself thinking about what it is that you might do, either one of those, and just jot down some notes. What would your greeting look like to somebody with your role? I'll give you a minute to do that. You can see those lines on the bottom of that page.
Yeah, just take a few minutes and just feel the experience that your participants will feel, because you will ask them to write your AIAE or write your AIDIT, whichever one is more closely aligned to the work that you do every day, and you'll ask them to do the same thing. So do that for a minute, and then you can
share it.
Yeah. Does anybody need something to write with? I see a bunch of ink pens over here. Anybody need something to write with?
I could use a pen right here. Please.
That is
Right here.
Okay. Anybody else need something to write with?
Grazie. There you go.
I'm going to pull a couple and take them over here. There you are. Anybody else? Everybody got something to write with? Okay.
So stand up, find a partner, and share with them your introduction as you would do it. Just find somebody to share with, stand up, and
Pick somebody you don't know. Well, you might know them, but you don't work with them every day. That makes it a more real experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not even like, I can't even use that.
We're way ahead of schedule.
I know. I think I need to slow it down a little
Maybe we pause.
okay to interrupt you?
Yeah, let's do a couple of examples of AIAE and a couple of examples of AIDIT for them to call. Let's use those examples. That's not till the end. Okay, then let's call us after this and say, all right, so far.
Hold on, I gotta talk to you about so-and-so. No, we're not supposed to give out our Well, usually there's dispatch on the radio. It's usually on my I tried to call the cafeteria phone and it just rings and rings and rings. I'm surprised she didn't get the call. They might have been really busy
Because there'll be another pause for their voicemail. Yeah. Friends, and then we'll do some sharing out. One more minute.
Couple other demonstrators coming in. Now you. Wow, lots of great conversation.
Then you don't have to go through all of this to show off.
Love listening to you. Great interactions, great conversation. So when we're looking at that time to practice, this is an example that's here. But really what I'd like to know, since you had some time, is the AIAE, the first one. Did you hear a really good one? Did somebody do a really good one that you heard, that you really liked? Yes, I'm going to ask you to do it. So, yeah.
Or maybe it's yours.
Yeah.
Maybe you wrote a really good one that you'd be willing to share.
I'll share.
Thank you.
So often I'm walking in a classroom, teacher teaching, full of students, and as soon as I open that door, boom, I got a bunch of eyes on me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And the first thing I say, hey, I'm Shane here, I'm here to fix this or whatever there. Is there a better time?
Good question.
When is your off period?
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna bother you?
Yeah.
Because as soon as I walk in and start doing things,
Mm-hmm.
that teacher has lost all of her attention of
Yeah.
the class.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they'll be like, no, and boom, she'll get her class back on track and I'll go do what I need to do.
Yeah.
And often they're like, yeah, my lunch period is in 20 minutes, this and that there, and then I'll try to go back then.
Yes. Really good, and I like that the attitude that you have about that, the kindness that you're willing to come back to them. That's great customer service, talking with them about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you sharing. Anybody else have one?
Yes.
So typically, my interactions are on the phone because I work out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, that would help.
There you go.
So, because I work out in the middle of a portable, out in the middle of nowhere. So generally, it's over the phone, and so you don't get that visual. So it's really important to really hone into your verbal skills. So you greet them, you ask them, you introduce yourself, you ask them what they need, and then you deliver whatever information they're asking. And if you can't, you ensure them with a reasonable expectation. For example, if they want to know about a school zone that's not implemented, I let them know, hey, we're having a board meeting for that in about 2 months, check back in there. And then that gives them a more reasonable expectation rather than just leaving them like, oh, don't know.
Yes. Well, good. And I love that you provide them some kind of information and direct information about that. Thank you for that. Anybody else? And I think that was an excellent AIDIT. Is there another AIDIT or an AIE that you can talk about that you wrote, you scripted? Yes.
I just, at the end, something I note is that I tell them, because I do mostly over the phone and email, so I tell them I'm going to start working on it and I'll keep you updated so people don't feel like they're just like, what do I do next? Or, because they get a lot of information at once. So I think it's important to if you have to follow up, say, I will be following up or somebody will be contacting you. So they're not like, what do I do now after I just got all this information? So
That's great. Thank you. Yeah, very good.
By the way, you guys, I know it feels strange holding these mics. They're not live in this room. They're only on the recording. So it feels a little awkward holding the mic, but let's just do it anyway. Okay? Thank you.
Now, you'll see with your participants, the people that you're training, you can have them stand up and interact with this. It's time to practice AIAE. You have just gone downstairs to the drink machine and you notice a couple wandering around and they appear to be lost. What should you do? Talk with your partner about what you do in that situation. Here is where you're dealing with that thing that it's not my job, or I'm not going to get involved. Because you walk down to the Coke machine, this is another place where you can avert your eyes and not recognize or acknowledge someone. So great customer service. What are you doing? You've just come downstairs, you see them by the drink machine. What are you going to say to them? How does AIAE work in that situation?
Another good idea, you can do this lots of different ways. And the more you do this, you'll get better at kind of reading the room and reading your group. And you can kind of decide, am I going to let them pair up again? Do I go back to the partner activity and let them find a partner in the room and talk about what they would do? Another option is talk about it at your table. And then if you do end up with a big group like this, that's probably the option that you want to choose. So maybe you guys talk about this scenario at your table right now, and what would you say? How would you handle it? Then they get to hear a number of different perspectives. So practice that one just at your table so you'll know what that feels like. And then you'll have some choices when you're talk to your friends.
Yeah.
The first thing is awareness. So I go down to the Coke machine and I see these two people.
I know we don't have this in this trip, but I think one thing.
sign. You just enter the, with the law, it's like, okay. Yeah, there's a whole, I think awareness. Being present.
I'm really interested in the conversation there. That's the AI agent example, which I'm going to give them after Mike talks. All right, so I'm 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I really am very interested. There was a lot of lively discussion around this. So I would like to, I'm interested in what you were talking about. What were you thinking? What were you thinking about this example? What struck you? Yeah. Go.
Awareness.
Yes.
So being aware as you come into a situation where you're seeing somebody, what are they doing? How are they acting?
Mm-hmm. I love that. Yes. What is something, and this is not in your script, that might cause us to not be aware, that we all of us carry with us and have very close to us all the time? Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can see that a lot of times that takes away from awareness and customer service if you are focused and looking at this rather than this. And you can talk about that. Somebody else, what else? What were some of the things you talked about? Yes?
I was saying we, on a daily basis, shorten all of it. Like if I'm walking downstairs and I notice someone wandering around, I don't walk up to them and go, "Hi, I'm Brooke Cambria. I'm the investigator for the district. How can I help you?" Like, there's too much that goes with that conversation. So it's, "Hi, can I help you with something? Do you need assistance?" Like it's a shortened version for everyone's sake.
Yeah.
That's very true. The same goes for 510. You see some of the same people multiple times a day, don't you? You do not have to say good morning every time you see them if it's before noon. So you can figure that out and have some discussion when you're doing the training, just like you just said. If you already know them, you're not going to say what your role is. Okay? It's got to be natural. But it's really important for those customers who don't know who you are. Maybe this is their first time here. Or maybe they had a bad experience already, and you get the opportunity to fix that. Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Just to say good morning to everybody. And obviously, this is the elite. This is the best of the best, and that's why you're here and train the trainer. But a lot of the work we're doing with the Studer Group and organizational excellence really comes down to how can we provide a higher level of service. You know, like she said, you don't have to say good morning every time. I mean, but on the second time, you don't have to say you again. I see you again. No. It's really about how do we get better as a team. But the front line starts with you guys, and the feeling that people get when they come into our organization, regardless whether we rolled it out in operations, some of the verticals. Ops verticals first, but as we move to school-based and we move to our front line, our front-facing group that sees the customer every day, it makes a significant difference in how people feel. And I do agree with you about the phone, because I can't tell you the number of times, and I'm guilty of it doing it myself, just trying to catch up, trying to multitask, walking around, and I miss opportunities to greet people. I miss opportunities to say, good morning, and let them know there's a culture here that's accepting and wanting to serve. And so I just want to thank you for your willingness to be part of the training, because you are going to be the ones that help move this throughout the organization. It's a work in progress. It's not a one and done. This is it's never going to be good enough. I'm just going to tell you right now, because we can always get better. We can always get better in what we do and delivering service. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the vertical is, whether it's a school-based area, whether it's HR, finance, facilities, planning, construction, maintenance, transportation, food service, police department, safety, security. It doesn't matter. All of us can get better at quality service. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for your willingness to be here today. Thanks to the Studer Group. It's great to see you. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I want to make sure that you know that we are committed. The superintendent, the cabinet, our team, we're committed to Studer Group and the excellence organizational excellence effort that is so graciously funded by the Baranczyk Foundation and some of those that work with us. So we can get better. But the only way we can get better is we got to get better together, and we got to be on the same page getting better. We have all these all these different areas, and they all kind of operate differently. We kind of need to pull it together, and that's part of this. This brings it together to make sure that we're aligned as a unit, we're aligned as a team, and that when people come to Sarasota County Schools, they recognize the difference. Doesn't matter where they are, they're going to be greeted, they're going to be addressed, and they matter. When you feel like you matter, you try a little harder, don't you? Or you, even as with the customers get that experience, there's a little bit more positive. So, and sometimes they're coming with negative things, right? They're upset, they're frustrated, they're whatever the issue is, they're having problems or whatever, but we're there to help them, and I'm thankful for you. So if I can help you in any way, let me know. I'm now still in Jody Dumas. Mr. Dumas and I get to go to another meeting, and but I'll be right back. We will be back to join you. So thank you so much. Good to see you.
Yes, sir. Good to
and
see
I hope you all
you
have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Y'all behave.
Yeah, we do.
Family and fish go bad after 3 days.
There you go. That's the truth. That is the truth.
Let it be longer than 3 days.
Write that down. Right, I need to remember that.
That's the takeaway of the day, isn't it? All right, so back looking at AIDIT, here's an example. Again, having your participants look at the example and talking about it at their table. And I'm going to ask you just to do that quickly. Read your example. This is in your packet also. And take a minute to talk about the AIDIT example.
And you'll have to move your car.
A more distinct group, like I got all food service in here, or I got all custodians in here. It's perfectly okay for them to come up with this. If you want to alter it, if you wouldn't do that if it's a mixed group, and I'm sure they will find themselves just like this in a mixture. But if they are in a distinct role-alike group, just tell them, just come up with a scenario. You know, feel free to do a different scenario. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay.
So, like every Friday.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thoughts? What did you talk about at your table? What are some of your thoughts? Yes.
Eric said pre-planning. That was super, super important. Pre-planning all the things we're going to be doing for the duration.
Yes, pre-planning. I like that. That's right.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. Thinking about what are you getting ready to do? What are you going to say?
Need to find the right person in the school to give this information to.
Absolutely.
You don't just give it to the secretary at the front desk. You got to go hit up the assistant principal or somebody that's got authority.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this a pretty real example? Yeah, you can think about this, and just from my principal days, I know if they're coming out and I can all hear that beep beep, I know they're getting, and I'm like, we're getting ready to test. Will somebody come in and tell me how long is this going to be? What are we doing here? We have some things that are going on. So if the person comes in and says, hey, we're here to repave the front, it's going to take us about 45 minutes. I can go, oh, well, we're not testing for another 2 hours. So all of a sudden, I know who's there. I know what they're doing. I know the duration. It reduces the stress. One of the things that you can do when you're training is if you are training, it's not a mixed group of different people. You're training a particular group of people. Feel free to write your own example that goes along with that particular group, what they would do. You can alter the example. Yeah. All right.
Just don't do that in a mixed group. Like, we've got a lot of people from a lot of different departments in here today, and you will have that experience too, where you won't just be working with your own people, you'll be working in a mixed group. In that case, you need to use some of the generic examples. But if it's just you and 20 food service people, feel free to come up with a scenario that would sort of match more what would be more realistic for them. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, and I really do want to go back to that planning. I think it's very important that you plan that this is a tactic and you know what you're going to say, because we're all so busy that what we end up saying is we just go do our work. And we forget about that customer side of it. That planning and thinking about it, thinking about where you're going, who you're going to interact with, what you're going to say, really, really is an excellent idea. All right, we've talked about the importance of customer service. We've talked about the 5-10 rule. We've talked about the 60-second rule. AIAE. Ate it. Take a moment, look at your packet. Do you have any questions? Is there anything you're thinking about, anything you'd like to know as you're moving towards presenter status? Now, here's a couple things. We're going to go halfway today through the packet. We're going to go halfway. We're going to come back and go through the second half with you again, and then we'll come back a third time where we will have you present a tactic or two to us, just so you can get comfortable with the material. And so we can give you some great advice on how to present. All right? So take a look at that. You talk to your person at the table for just a second. What do you see? Is there anything you'd like to know before we move forward?
Yeah. Any questions that you have about the script, or what you'll say to people you're training, how you'll let them do things like stand up and practice 5-10, or write your AIAE, write your AID, practice with somebody. Just kind of roll through what we've done so far. And we want to pause at this point and answer any questions that you have before we do some more tactics. Because we're going, as Brent said, we're going halfway today.
Yes.
So, I think a lot of these instances, so take me for example, so I'm kind of district-wide. I find myself often at the landings. I see somebody that needs, some attention. A lot of times they're trying to find fingerprinting or different departments. So what's the suggestion in teaching this that I just happen to know where those things are at the landings? But say somebody is at a location that they're trying and they want to help somebody, they're not sure how to help them. Instead of avoiding it, how can they help the individual in that case?
I think that's a great question, which happens, especially for people that move around a lot in different places. If you don't know, say that. I don't know, but I'm going to help you find it because I need to know too.
Yes.
Come on, we're going to go find it together. Do everything you can to solve for whatever's in the moment and say the why. I don't know where that is. I tell you what, let's walk back to the front office and get somebody there to help us and make them feel comfortable in the moment. Mm-hmm. And also, when you can, if it's going to help you too, say so. I need to know this too.
I love that. I remember being in Publix and I had on a green shirt. And somebody came up to me and said, "Do you know where?" And I was like, "I don't know, but here, let's go find somebody together. We'll both find out."
The fact that we wear badges, I work everywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere I go into, I'm an employee somehow. And
Yeah.
ask me where things are at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what this work grew out of? This is an interesting story that might help you understand. This work was all done in hospitals and healthcare before it was done in education. So Quint Studer, the founder of Studer Group, he was originally a teacher in Janesville, Wisconsin, in the Janesville School District there. He was a high school special education teacher for about 10 years, moved over into hospital and healthcare administration, where he really hit his stride and took off. And that's where all of this work was developed. And this particular piece came from, have you ever been lost in a hospital? Mm-hmm. We've all been lost in a hospital. And when we're at a hospital, if we're a patient, we're laying in a bed somewhere or on a gurney or sitting in a wheelchair. But if we are there as a family member, a visitor, we don't know where to go. It's very difficult. So he realized that and started training people in hospitals, help people find where they are going. People are already nervous. They've got a family member in the hospital. Somebody's very ill. They're already uncomfortable. And now they're in a place where they can't find where they need to go. They're embarrassed. All of that is happening in their emotions. So this idea of reduce anxiety and help people get where they're going is what started a lot of this particular piece of the work that we call service excellence. It's a very important piece, and that's where it came from. And now they've kind of gone crazy with stuff, kind of like your awnings a little bit. They have lines on the floor in hospitals. Have you ever been to one that's got lines on the floor? And you know what I love? Brent and I spend a lot of time in airports, and we have to pick up and return rent cars. And very often now, when you're first in, and you're looking for where's the return the rent car sign, where's that? Because you think I'm going to miss it, and I'm going to be all up in the place where you pick somebody up, and I'm going to have to go all the way around again. But some places have put, like our airport, it says follow the green line. Perfect. And there's a green line painted on the asphalt taking you right to where you return the rent car. So just wanted you guys to know the background of where this whole idea of telling people what's happening. This also came from healthcare. How many of you have been to some sort of health care place where you are having some kind of test run or procedure run, and they say, you're going to be in room number 6 right down the hall here. Go in here and take off all your clothes, put on the gown, and sit on the table. How are you feeling? Yeah. And the minutes seem to just stretch out forever. Wouldn't it be better if someone came in and said, hi, I'm KK Owen. I'm going to be your technician today. The procedure that you're going to have is going to take about 10 minutes. It's not really going to be painful. But you do have to take off your clothes, put on the gown, open in the back, sit on the table, and it's going to be within 10 minutes that the technician is going to come and hook up the machine. I'll stay in here with you the whole time. You probably won't get your results today, but I'll let you know when you can expect your results after your procedure is over. Here comes the above and beyond service. Do you have any questions about the procedure that you're going to have today? Okay. Now how are you feeling about your procedure? Better. You have a time frame. You have, here's what's going to happen. This is about how long it's going to take. So all of these things, we didn't just make these up. These have evolved over the years. So the end of the story is Quint decided, after he moved to Pensacola and became CEO of our hospital in Pensacola Baptist Hospital, that this would all work in education. Because he was thinking back to his days as a special education teacher. He was an on-the-job training teacher, an OJT teacher. So kids that were his students were out working in workplaces around the community. So he was interacting a lot. And he was thinking, this could work in education. The same stuff that I've done in hospitals for all these years, we can move this into education. So that's what has been happening for the last 20 years, I think. Maybe 15, I don't know. Anyway, so just wanted to give you a little bit of background. Any other questions for what we've done so far? How are you feeling about that? Do you think you can do this? Okay, good. That's where we want you to get to today. I think I can do this. And what we are trying to do is make sure you have everything you need. So if you see something missing that you think you need between the trainer's manual and the participant materials and slide deck, let us know. Because before we put you out there in front of a group of people, we want you to be really ready to do it. Okay.
Yeah, also one of the great pieces of this is think about the impact as you're training everyone throughout your district so that everyone is responding this way. Everyone has the tactic, everyone is greeting their customers the same way. The impact that that's going to have overall. And also think about onboarding, because you also later would be able to onboard new people who are coming in to work here, and now they know the expectation. Because there's a different feeling from saying to somebody, no, don't greet them like that. You need to greet them, and that's a different feeling from, hey, let me train you on how we greet people when they come in. It's an expectation that's up front, and everyone knows it. Everybody knows what the expectation is. Your new hires go, oh, that's how I'm supposed to greet people when they come into the office.
Standardizing these kinds of tactics makes a huge, huge difference. I work with an organization that they serve a whole bunch of different school districts. They're a special education service agency. So maybe 30 or 40 school districts hire them just for physical therapy services, just for deaf and hard of hearing services, just for visually impaired services, just for occupational therapy, all the things that tiny, tiny school districts, they can't afford to have a full-time speech teacher or a full-time physical therapy teacher. So they hire it out. We taught them one thing. We taught them 5-10. Everybody in their organization. So they spread out in these 30, 40 school districts. They started getting phone calls from the people in that school district. Hey, what's that thing that y'all taught everybody to do? We want to teach that to our people. It's very impactful when we get it at critical mass. When enough people are doing it, that everyone notices it. And people start saying, there's something different about this. This is better. So that's where we are headed. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to be quiet now, and let's teach the rest of the tactics.
Let's move on. So let's talk about the phone. How many of you do not use the phone?
3, 4. Okay.
So most of us in our jobs are answering the phone in some way or another. We're going to talk about your customer service on the phone. And here's the thing about the phone. You'll see this on your slide, this very same slide they have in this conversation. People can hear a smile. They can hear it. They can hear your attitude on the phone. So very important that when you answer the phone, and one thing you can do, you can practice, is just practice smiling when you answer the phone. Is when you pick it up, force yourself to smile. Everybody smiling? And get that feeling. Your tone will change on the phone. Well, by the way, did you know that if you're my age, we do the phone like this? How do you think my granddaughter does it? Like that. If she does a phone, isn't that funny? So she'll do that for the phone. But for me, I'm like, then she's like, what in the world is that? What are you doing? So, all right, so phone customer service. And really, also on this slide, if you're reading down there, one of the most important things in that script to put focus out is that we're developing good habits to ensure that we're constantly providing excellent customer service. So remember when you talked to her?
Ever talked to her on the phone? Mm-hmm. You couldn't see her, but you know she looked like that. And she was probably filing her nails.
And again, when people call, and I think about this whole anxiety piece, because that's what you're dealing with. I think about this when, just because, like KK said, we fly a lot, and I watch people who don't fly very often, and you can read their anxiety. They don't know the things that we do from our experience that we're just calm about. We're not worried about delayed flights. We're not worried about getting to the gate. You know, we know the processes, but it's their first time and they have anxiety. We get so used to our jobs that we're doing that we don't remember the anxiety that they're feeling when they pick up the phone and call. And sometimes when they're calling about something, it's taken courage just to call about that. So, being ready to remember that, reduce the anxiety, and most importantly, here, that we are really paying attention to them. We're paying attention to them in that call. Extremely, extremely important. Reducing the anxiety. How do we feel if somebody is ignoring us on the phone? It raises our anxiety. We feel a lack of importance. We feel that we don't matter. And can you think about a bad customer service call, just like you were thinking about a bad customer service interaction? Are you talking about that? Do you ever tell that story? You won't believe. I called the insurance company. I let that guy have, whatever the story is that you're telling them. So, wouldn't you rather talk to wouldn't you rather talk to somebody who is smiling, you can feel it. You can know the attitude that they have on that side. You have a phone voice. Have you ever thought about your phone voice, what you sound like on the phone? Have you ever heard somebody else that you're working with heard their phone voice? And you might like to say, just give it a little smile there. You got it. All right. So take a look at that. You're on, I think, what slide are we on? We're on slide
20?
Slide 19.
Oh, 19.
Yeah.
Mine says 20. Oh, because we have the cover on there.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm following along. Sorry, Brent.
No worries. It's funny. Yeah, so you can see this is, we've had this experience before. I'm sorry you were transferred. Yeah.
How many of you have had that experience? And this is the other one that's really, really common. No one wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to call the wrong department. I really need to talk to payroll, but I'm not calling payroll. I'm going to call someone else on purpose. No one does that, but sometimes you're made to feel like you did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Aren't you? Well, you've called the wrong department. Happens all day long, every day. Now we feel terrible, and we're not going to get great customer service from that person, are we? So we, like Brent's saying, we need to be aware of how that feels to be sitting on the other end of that phone.
Yeah. So how about this one?
Oh, I love this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. So let me ask you this: what would you like when you call somewhere? What are the things you would like to happen? What would you expect to happen on this side? What would be a good call response? You're calling somebody. What makes you feel good? Talk at your table for just a minute about what you would like to have happen when you're calling someone. What does good customer service look like on the phone? Are we okay? Okay. I'm trying to manage pacing in this. Okay. Okay. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. What were some of the things you would expect to be good customer service on the phone? What would you like?
To know who I'm talking to.
To know who you're talking to.
Hello, this is Eric Waldron.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a pet peeve my wife has. She talks about is when the person calls you and then they just say hello, and she's like, I didn't call you. Why are you saying? Tell me who you are. Why are you calling me? So, yeah. So I like that. Yeah.
Verification of what I'm needing. So if I say, hi, I'm calling about my insurance, they're like, okay, so you got a policy with us.
Yes.
It's just that verification.
Verification, absolutely. Recognition, yeah. Yeah.
But if a roadblock comes up in the conversation, that if they're still able to handle it, like they will try to still assist you in handling it. Like,
yes.
For example, like I told them I called my kid's dentist. They called me
Yeah.
the other day saying, hey, I need the insurance information. It looks like your insurance for your child changed. And I was like, oh yeah, it did. I'm sorry, but my husband handles that. Can you please call him? I don't have the information. She immediately got attitude and was like, well, yours is the one on file. I don't even have his number. And I was like, okay. rather than going, oh, okay, yeah, I understand. Please give me his number.
Yes.
And that's all it would have taken.
Yes.
And that was the end. She didn't even ask for the number. She
Yeah.
was like, well, I don't have it.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
And
So working with you, even though like you are hitting a roadblock.
yeah, I love
And
that.
she just told that story to 40-something people. When people have a
Exactly right.
bad experience, they go and tell people.
That's right. It stays with you. So thinking about that, remember that you are the chief officer of first impressions when somebody calls you. They may have called the school district before, but they may have never called your department. It might be the first time that they're interacting with your department. That very first impression that they have about Sarasota County Schools comes from that interaction that they're having with you on that phone call. That if it goes the way your call went, they're calling their friends to say, man, I called down there and they said, well, we don't have your husband's number, so, can't help you. All right, so how should we answer the phone? What do you want to accomplish when you answer the phone? Here's something. We all believe we can multitask. It's not really true.
They know it.
Yeah.
They know it on the other end.
Yeah, and we might be doing something else on the phone. How many of you have done that, talked on the phone and tried to do something? And I'm going to tell you, I've done it myself, yes. And how many of you had to say what I've said, which was like, I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Yes.
I have no idea what you just said to me, right? So the most important thing, and you can see this in your script here on this slide, is no matter what, the number one rule, it's on the last part of that slide, the number one rule for phone customer service, focus on the customer. Even if you're busy, stop and focus on the customer. How many of you have been talking with someone and you can tell by their voice that they actually did stop doing something and they're all of a sudden giving you attention? You can say, okay, they're really listening to me now. I can tell. And when people talk about communication, anytime they're talking about, and they say there's a problem with communication, what they're really talking about is feeling listened to. That's what they're really talking about, feeling listened to. This improves how people feel the district is communicating when someone actually just stops and listens to the call. Yeah, and pays attention. All right, so, am I on some good ideas? Yeah, some good ideas. Very similar to what we were talking about earlier. Welcome the caller, introduce yourself. You reduce anxiety by telling them where they've reached, where they are. Answer their question, give information, solve the problem, and help them get to the right person. That's handover, which we'll talk more about in the future.
By the way, everything that we're going through now, you might want to look in your packet as you look through the materials.
Yeah,
All
thank
of these
you.
same tactics work over email too. The exact same things that we are talking about work over email. So we have kind of merged email and phone protocols because you need to do these same things very often in an email. Use that same customer care over an email. So that's why it's laid out in the participant packet in that way. And they have a section for phone and a section for email, timely response for phone, timely response for email. So this will be helpful. The reason we decided to start doing this is people can take this with them. So then they have like their own little mini manual to keep working on.
Yeah. And I think I'm glad you brought that up about email, because email is one place where we can get really quick and just want to hit something and get it out and get it over with. But stopping and thinking about the person on the other end and how they're receiving that email. So just having that clarity of providing who you are, where they've reached, how can you help them? Very important. All right. So one thing that you can do, and this is really important, is to just write your script.
And you'll have them do this.
Yes.
You will have them write a script. And a good way to do it is give them some thinking time. Think about your job. What kind of calls do you get? What kind of emails do you get? What's a common call that comes into your office? And what are the elements? And you guys have called some of them out. Acknowledge, welcome to the Human Resources Department. My name is KK Owen. The elements of a really effective voicemail call. So,
yes,
write you a script.
Yeah, and I mean, that can be on that little note card right up there or down there right by the phone where you can look at it. And think about just for a second, what would your script look like? What would your script look like?
You got a place on the next page.
Turn your page over and just jot down a few notes real quickly. If you're answering the phone, what does your script look like? What are you saying?
This will be the second time you'll pause and have them actually write, just like you did.
Yeah, it's
for,
on your participant packet. You can take it, but we're also going to email you a digital copy of it to ship. Everybody can have it.
Here.
Have my own extension.
I'm so old school.
I'll give you this one. When I'm finished, you can have this one.
Okay, we're okay.
Okay. Oh, we have an extra one. Any other extras? I should probably pick those up.
Yeah.
This is an extra. Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you for saying that. Thank you for, that's right. There's multiple scripts.
Huh? Yeah, I think we
Okay.
This is extra.
And you got all these people mining for information.
These are all extras.
Only how that
Okay.
is. I find myself lately actually getting a little reserved. But, funny how that is, eh?
Is it possible in some of these scripts, I've often said, we should maybe have something as a department?
Who wanted
so
one of
we're all
these?
saying the
I
same-
love that.
Like an I call it the elevator speech.
Yes.
So we're consistent, because everybody has a different way they think they're giving that message.
Yes.
And like, I love it, I heard that, and I've been saying, we appreciate you, because we're directed employees. But I think one thing that comes to mind, I think it'd be really helpful, especially new ones, new employees, they don't.
That's right.
I do the onboarding and it goes, so my mind goes right to that. Here's a script that mirrors our values.
One more minute.
I love that.
One more minute.
That is so good. That's a great idea. All right.
Remind them that
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The difference between that. Out loud or sometimes we're quicker. So you gotta think about that in terms of how we would think of a voicemail message. Are we really saying everything we need to say?
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. All right. So we're coming to the close of the first half of the session, and the last. I think I want to point out, Aaron, what you were saying. I don't know if you want to share that with everybody. I thought it was a great idea.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I was just thinking. I mean, I deal with let me stand up so you can see me. I deal with a lot of new employees. I help with the NEO, and I'm also vector compliance. Don't be mad
Academy. But one of the new things that I know is new employees, well, what do I say? What do I do? And I thought, if you have a script for your new employee, what message you want in an email or a voicemail, or what you want them to say about your department, I think, I call it the elevator speech. That way everybody's consistent, I think is super helpful. And then let them kind of make it more authentic as they get more settled in. But sort of that bare bones, this is something that attaches to our 5 values.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Wonderful. And I also heard, make sure I got your first name, Kendall was saying here that you may have several scripts. You may do several different things, so you've got several different scripts. So let's finish out talking real quick about the voicemail message. Think about voicemail message, and you're going to tell your participants that their assignment is to go and listen to voicemail. Can you hear the smile? Is the voicemail actually the person that works there? How many of you have called somewhere else and there's still a voicemail from way back that's still sitting on the machine?
Help your friends. When you go back to your place of work after today, you might want to tell everybody, check your voicemail. And yours needs to be perfect, because now you are a trainer and an influencer. So this is a serious assignment. That's why it's highlighted in yellow. Y'all got to go check yours, because the last thing we need is one of you guys having one that is not great. So now you're in an elevated position. You need to have a really good voicemail message. So this is a real assignment for you guys. And then when you train people, if you follow this, you will have a great voicemail message, and people will know exactly what the instructions are for you to get back to them, because you're telling them, here's what you should do so that I can get back in touch with you. And then next time, we'll expand this. We'll talk about the touchback rule, what's a reasonable amount of time that people can expect to hear back from you. But this is your assignment for today.
Yes, and realizing that this script that you're writing is different, a little more detailed than your script that you would have for answering the phone. So really you have it right here laid out. Take some time to look at that, listen, have it. When you've written it and you've gone ahead and put it on your machine, have somebody else listen to it. How does this sound? Does this sound like what you would want to hear on the other end of that call? All right, that concludes us today right at 10 o'clock. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. There you go.
And you can see, you can flip over to the next page and you can see where we're headed next. Next time we'll cover the remainder of the tactics. So they are in your participant packet and your manual, but you've got everything that you need. Okay.
Okay, guys, before you leave, so these are yours. These are your items to take. Please make sure that you keep them in a safe place, because we will not be reprinting copies of these each time we come. That's a lot of paper, right? So, yep, please make sure. Hey, guys, are you listening?
5, 4, 3, go ahead.
Hey guys, these packets of yours, please make sure that you take them with you. We will not be reprinting them each time that we come, so please make sure you take those and keep them in a handy place. I will email that Service Excellence Training Manual to you guys, so you have it on your desk and you can, just kind of review it as you go along. We will also send you an email with additional information on the next training session. You can look at this information in the meantime, and I'll give you some information on our future meetings in that as well. Any questions before you guys head out today?
Do you want us to leave the main packets behind for the next session?
No, you can.
Maybe we should collect them.
You want to collect the manuals?
Yeah,
okay,
maybe
KK
take
will.
your participant packet and we're
Great
gonna
idea.
send you
Great
the
idea.
digital copy. But
Take
let's
yours
hang
with you.
on to these, so we'll make sure we
Okay.
have a pile of them.
Thank you guys again
We have
so much
extra
for
ones. We
coming,
can do
and we'll
that.
talk again soon. Thank you.
All right.
You can take your name.